When I was researching this site before, I was looking for any translation of that word that's attached to the stone and appears on the maps. Gallaunkeagh, Gallaunkeagh. I couldn't find any for this site, but there's a stone in Kerry with the same name, and that's translated as a boundary stone, which makes sense here too. Jack Roberts has this stone beautifully sketched in his Exploring West Cork book, and he suggests that some of the stones in this area would be boundary stones defining the area, the ancient Celtic area, Cork-a-Lee, which is, yeah, so I think this is it here. It looks fairly dense and impenetrable. I'm just going by the gap up in the trees up on top here. I've got to go about 100 meters in here. Hopefully there's some bit of a trackway. You can see down here deer probably coming in out through that gap, which is a sign there may be some bit of a track. So I'm going to go up here 100 meters, then the track continues west about 300 meters, then into the woods itself for another 100 meters, and that's where the stone is. So here goes. So the track, or the track clearing between the trees, is a definite no-go. Really tough going. Gorse and holes and bracken and everything. So I'm just taking this track up through the woods, and I might be able to rejoin the clearing a little bit up here. See how we get on. This bit isn't too bad really. I was expecting it to be more overgrown than it is. So the remains of the old tracks, the pre-forestry tracks, or when they're planting the forestry, they would use these access tracks, even though they're very overgrown now. About halfway now, 150 meters maybe to go. Very tough going. We're literally pushing our way through the branches, making our own pathway. What I'm looking for then is a clearing on top of a little hill. So the ground's falling away to the left, so I think I need to go right a little bit here. If we're going by the hill theory, I'm just going to follow this little drain here along for a second. It's very soft underneath the ground as well. You could easily twist your ankle along here. So yeah, I can see something ahead here. Looks promising, shining at me. So here we go, towards a clearing. I'm just minding my step here. You're a long way from civilization if you twist your ankle. Yeah, this is it. I see the clearing and I see the stone through the trees. Let's go over here to the right and we'll be there. Beautiful. I'd say there's not many visitors to this place, barring the deer. And there you got it in the middle there. Gallaunkeagh. fairness to them, when they planted this wood 15 or 20 years ago, they left the stone in a clearing, which they wouldn't have done before that. They would have probably just planted right on up to it. Lovely butterfly there. It's quite a big stone. As I say, some of these stones were probably marker stones or boundary stones. Maybe this one, it's on a hilltop, so it would be visible before the forestry 2,500 years ago. It would be visible as a mark on the horizon. Of course, the jury's out there. There's many reasons for these stones. Boundary markers, waymark. They could often mark people's death, people's burial. You know, some of them are older, but some of them are newer. With the long axis of the stone, this axis here, northeast, southwest-ish, as in this one. It's a good indicator it's a Bronze Age stone. So the height of this stone, approximately 1.7 meters. Quite a big stone, quite wide as well. Back in the Ordnance Survey maps, first edition in the 1840s, there's a triangulation point beside the word Gallaunkeagh, and that's from the 1820 British Ordnance Survey, which formed on the ground measuring and base for the maps, subsequent maps. It's noted as a triangulation point, which was used for referencing, drawing the maps, and also noting the elevation above sea level. So Jack Roberts in his book doesn't mention the benchmark on this stone, but there is one, and I'd known about that when I first visited the stone, but even knowing that, it took me quite a while to find it on the stone itself. So this stone has stood here, give or take, 2,500 years, 3,000 years since the Bronze Age, as a waymark or a boundary stone. And then 200 years ago in the 1820s, the Ordnance team used this stone location, as I say, on top of the hill, so it would have been relevant for the mapping, and they left their benchmark on it. It's the only example I know, or I've come across in West Cork or in Ireland, of a Bronze Age stone with a benchmark applied to it. I've seen a lot of them on bridges, buildings. A lot of them are removed now, but there's still a lot of them in evidence around the country. I did see one online somewhere of I think a UK stone which had a benchmark. So if we look here just on the bottom corner, this would be the southwest corner of the stone. There's a natural, it looks like a natural hollow along, horizontal hollow there, and just coming to the end of this, and just above it, just here, you see the arrow. It's quite camouflaged now with the light shiner on the stone. So the point of the arrow here and coming down, the arrow tip, base of the arrow. So that's your ordnance arrow. I'll just maybe find a bit of mud and see, can I... There's not much mud at this time of year. Let's see now. Got anything down here? You're not supposed to use chalk on rock art. I don't suppose this qualifies as rock art, but it is of a type, I suppose. There we go.